What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to FBA Capital. And today I'm bringing you guys another daily range breakdown on none other than US30. So without further ado, let's get right on into the charts. So where's my mouse? Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is start off by getting our three-point outline that's going to consist of the previous day's high, the previous day's low, just like that. That's our first part that we always like to do. Let me just get the settings for it real quick. Previous day's low. Then we have right up here, we have the previous day's high. Then we're going to get our second step, which is going to be the previous day's Asian session range, which is going to be from 18 o'clock all the way to midnight. So that's going to be our range right in here. We're going to make this orange for the Asian session range. Then we're going to mark up the 12 a.m. open, which is going to be right in here. So as you guys can see, there's a few areas that I want you guys to pay attention to. The first area is going to be this high. Second area is going to be this low. Third area is going to be this low. And I think those are going to be the most important parts. But now let's take it a step further and let me just break down what I'm looking at right now. Overall, you can see that price didn't make a run for the previous day's high. It did make a run for the previous day's low. It barely cleared the liquidity below it, but even though it barely did, it still cleared it. So the previous day's low was cleared. But overall, today was just a ranging day, and for the most part, yesterday was a holiday, so it might have a good reason for why price did what it did. But with that being said, now we're going to get into the overall market analysis and breakdown on what currently happened in this area. So the first area we're going to talk about is going to be this area right up here. So right up here we have the high of the day that was created at 9:45. At what level? This is when price tapped into 34,600. I'm going to make this black. So price tapped into 34,600 at 9:45. And also, we're going to pull our fib from the previous day's high to the previous day's low, which is going to be right here. We're going to drag it over. And then boom, what do we see? We see that price tapped into the 34,600 at 9:45, and it tapped into our fib short that we have right here at the 62%. And this is currently, this area right here is where I was able to catch my trade. I caught 100 points on US30 from this area right in here. Caught about 100 points for a 1 to 2. Even though I did miss out on an extra 170, 180 points, it is what it is. Nonetheless, I was still able to make money from that trade. So now let's annotate this. We have this high of the day that was made at 9:45 a.m. at our fib short from the previous day's high to previous day's low at 34,600. Also keep in mind that another thing that we have in this specific area is this is when price ran the liquidity for the Asian session range. So right over here, if you look to the left, this run above is what cleared the liquidity above this Asian session high. So we had the liquidity down here that's still resting. That did get ran through when it got ran through over here. But overall, when we're looking at this area from here, like this area when the market opened at 12 to here, the ranges, lows were still intact. But price ran above, cleared the Asian session high, traded into this fib short 34,600, and then what happened after that? Price ran the liquidity below the London session low of the day. And now, what do you guys know about the New York reversal pattern? What is something that you always target? You always target the previous London session lower high along with the Asian session lower high. And in this case, since we were bearish, we caught the high of the day up here during the New York session. And then where would you target? You would either be looking to target the previous London low, which is right here, or the previous Asian session low along with the previous day's low. So as you can see, that's what we got. So at what time was this low cleared? At 12:15. I'm gonna just say 12:30 though. So at 12:30, London lows cleared. And then from here, what happened? Price overall expanded to the top side. And at what level did this take place at? 34,300. Doesn't look like it tapped right into it, but it was maybe off by maybe 1 point or so. So nonetheless, I'm still going to use that as a confirmation. Okay. Right in there. So at 12:30 p.m., we had the London lows cleared. And now that's going to bring us to our second part right over here. Let's say you missed this original trade up here. What if you would have wanted to potentially look to catch a potential retracement? So what would you have done? you simply would have waited for price to create a low like it did here and wait for a retracement. So now we're going to use that high and this low, and we're going to pull a fib. So from here to here, you see price did it's not clean in my opinion. I'm going to see how this looks on a higher time frame. You can see on the 30-minute, it's not clean. It's not that clean. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use the wicks in this case. I'm going to use the wicks of these candles. Just like that. So you can see by using these wicks, price had this fib short at what time? 13:45, which is about 1:45. And you had this potential re-entry that you could have caught. Because why is this a good trade? Because for one, it came into this 30, check the hour, 4 hour. Okay, I was gonna see if there's a potential order block in this area, but as you can see, there isn't. There's just a lot of range going on in here. So right here we have this fib short at 1:45 p.m. So that is what we have right there. And then from here, prices overall just ran below, creating the low of the day. At what time? 2:30. We created the low of the day. So 2:30 p.m. You have the low of the day. After previous day's low is cleared. So just like that. And at what level was that? That was right at that 34,300 level. So it did close below it. It closed above it, but it did run below it with the wicks. So that is what we have there. But nonetheless, today was overall bearish New York reversal. Let's get the schematic of what happened today. So we had the Asian session range, made a low during London session, pushed above, clearing all the liquidity during the New York session, for price to then run below. So this is a clean example. And on a good day, if this wasn't going to range, more than likely price probably would have continued to expand to the downside, reaching for potentially 34,200 and 34,000. But nonetheless, you're not going to have perfect days all the time. So as you can see, just like this is all we have. This is all we have. But nonetheless, you still could have made the best of it, just like I was able to catch a trade today right up here. So even though I caught the trade before all of the stuff on the right even happened, before I knew it was going to be a ranging day, I was still able to capitalize on this move right here. Took profit at 34,500 right in here. And then from here, price was just moving, but then overall just kept ranging in this general area where all these orders are just being built up. So all these orders are just being built up from this 34,600 to 34,300 range. So that's just something to keep in mind for the higher time frame, such as the daily right over here. Price is just creating all of this liquidity, and if you pull a fib from this low to this high, let's see if it's at that 38.20%. And you can see it is at that 38.20%, just creating orders. But in my opinion, I do think price is probably going to still make a run for lower prices, such as 33,600 and 33,200. That's what I personally think, but nonetheless, only time will tell. We will see. But with that being said, hopefully you guys found this video helpful. Hopefully you found it informative. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you did find it helpful. Make sure you join the Telegram if you're not going to take a screenshot of this, because for one, you're going to be able to learn from this. Even though it's ranging day, you want to learn from these ranging days, because if you can anticipate what a ranging day looks like, that can keep you out of bad trades. So with that being said, this video was able to help you in any way, shape, or form. Just make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share this video with a friend, and also make sure you join the live session tomorrow morning. I will be live. If you were watching today's session, I was able to cast and call this trade out live. One trade, 101 points, one and done. Good way to start my Monday. So with that being said, I'll see you all tomorrow morning. Stay motivated by the fear of being average, and I'll see you all soon.